Local and live, covering Franklin and Washington counties, it's Let's Talk Tri-State with Tiny and Katie.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Tri-State with Tiny and Katie. It is all powered by Home Right Windows and Doors in Waynesboro, the right choice. And they were winner of the 2024 Best of the Tri-State.
Absolutely excited about the interview we have now. We are joined by Josh Dull. He's certified nurse practitioner and owner of Virtus Men's Health. Josh, thanks for joining us.
Hey, thanks for having me on the show today.
We did, whoops.
Put that anywhere.
I already did put that anywhere. We did an interview, I'd say about 3 months ago, I guess it was. Yep. It was a podcast. It was one of the best interviews that I ever had and more surprising ones, because when I went into it, I wasn't thinking we would get to dive in as much as we did, that we would get to cover as much as we did, but nonetheless we did, and we're so happy to have you back. You joined us a couple weeks ago on Let's Talk Tri-State, and now we are glad to have you back and discuss more and go in depth a little more with the men's health section of Virtus Men's Health.
Yep. Thanks for having me back. I appreciate it. I always enjoy coming here and chatting. And we did. We got into it pretty good, and we can get into it a little bit deeper.
Yep.
And today I'd like to talk about kind of playing off of our testosterone replacement. That seems to be obviously our most popular service that we offer. We are very versed in that and can help men out in that. But notably, that testosterone replacement is not a panacea, meaning that you can't just take testosterone and it's magically going to change you into, somebody else.
Superman.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It will definitely make changes, but as anything in life, there's no such thing as a free lunch, right? You have to put a little bit of something in to get a little bit of something out. And that's really where I wanted to focus most of my chat today, was mostly on what can we get out of it and how quickly can that happen, and is it really even necessary to begin with? So
yeah, and I want to, Katie is going to be...
I'm learning.
Yeah.
Big learning, obviously men's health, but if I ever meet a man, then can I recommend him to you?
Absolutely, be happy to help him out. So
she said before we went on here, she said, "Do you really want me in this one?" Yeah, I do. I think that it's good for everyone to hear what we're going to be covering, because, like Katie said, she talks to a lot of people, and she may talk to someone who may be describing, like in our podcast that we did a while back.
Right.
I had said to you, what are some symptoms of low testosterone? You went over some. We'll go over some here again in a few minutes. And there may have been some that you wouldn't even necessarily pinpoint to that. You could say, well, you might want to go get this checked or get your levels checked. So you were telling me off air that you do a body composition. Now, I know that you're in process of this change, we'll call it, for yourself, working on yourself. So take us through what the beginning of that looks like to where you are now, and then obviously when we have you back next month, we'll dive a little deeper.
Yeah, that's what I want to bring back, and again, I'm having my second body composition done tomorrow, so when we have that data to present the next time we're here, we'll really go over that. But where it really starts is, I'm obviously on testosterone replacement therapy. I'm not afraid to admit that. It's been life-changing, it's been life-altering. Yeah, absolutely, it's phenomenal. And when you get to like that 3 to 4 month mark, you really start to go, well, I have all this extra energy, and now I want to make a change. So I actually started going back to the gym. I haven't been to the gym in about 15 years. It was very foreign to me, and I really was confused. And when you walk into a gym and you're like, gosh, there's all this equipment here, where do I begin, right? You can get on YouTube, you can get on social media, whatever, see what exercises you should do to target this, that, and the other. I actually just bit the bullet. I got a personal trainer. Okay. And it's been the best investment, not because I really needed somebody to motivate me. Well, it does bring that to the table as well. I just needed somebody to help navigate through the gym. I was really just kind of lost.
You didn't know what to do.
Yeah, exactly. I had to have a starting point. Mm-hmm. And I've been doing that now for about 2 months. But part of getting my personal trainer was a body composition. And this is something that we're going to incorporate into our practice, and it's sort of in its infancy, but we're going to be starting to do this on men that want it, of course, and it's included in what we have. There's not like an additional cost or anything. But a body composition is basically taking your weight, and then we measure your body fat percentage, we measure your muscle mass on your body. We can do segmental muscle mass, meaning like I can see how much is in your arm, is in your leg, is in your torso. Right. And what we do is we track that over time. testosterone replacement therapy at its base, even if you don't work out a lot, or at least you're active, you will improve these metrics over time. You will make a little bit more muscle mass. You will lose fat over time, even without heavy exercise in the gym. But we want to track that because that's ultimately the movement forward and how we can kind of objectively gauge how you're doing. Now, sure, we do labs, we can track that as well, but labs are just kind of part of the story. It's really how do you feel? And if you're on this therapy and you want to take it and get the most out of it, that's where you have to begin. So I started my journey back in early August, and I had my initial weigh-in, and then I went back for my follow-up a month later. And I don't really want to get into detail because I really want that episode to kind of
absolutely.
Nail down exactly what the results are. But let's just say I was blown away at the results from 1 month. And I don't work out heavy. When I say heavy, often. I go to the gym twice a week.
Speaking your language, Katie.
I go to the gym twice a week. I don't go 5 days a week. I don't go 7 days a week. It fits into my schedule to do it twice a week. I'm there for an hour, but the actual workout itself is 30 minutes.
What do you do with the other 30 minutes?
The other 30 minutes is 15 minutes of a warm-up and 15 minutes of a cool-down, right? So I get on the stairs. I'll do that for about 10 minutes to get the heart rate up and everything moving. I'll do about 5 minutes of dynamic stretches, either lower body or upper body, depending on the day that I'm, which we're doing upper or lower that day. And then 30 minutes of, and so lower body is about 5 to 6 movements on a couple different things. And I've progressed through the gym over time. So we started on the beginner type machines, and now we're up to, the weight racks and the bar and stuff like that. So we're doing, incorporating a little bit of those movements.
Doing the squats and all that.
Yep, exactly. So we're kind of progressing and going from where you are novice to more advanced, movements in the gym. And I wanted to do that. And my trainer's been phenomenal with helping me kind of navigate moving through the gym and doing that. So, and we hit it hard. We go heavy weight, low rep to, 2 or 3 reps in reserve. You'll see that. You might, if you follow some fitness influencers, they always talk about RIR, reps in reserve, which just means that you work it out so you feel like you can only do
in the tank.
Right. You only got 1 or 3 left in the tank, and then you're done. And in some instances, we'll go straight to failure where you pushing and you really can't get, or pulling and you can't get anything else out of it. We're toast. And we'll do that on both days. And that's how I wanted to train. I had done some research before we had started, and I was like, this is how I want to do this. And my trainer was very much on board with that, and he's been phenomenal to work with, to help motivate me and educate me on the machines and the movements and everything we need to do to accomplish that. So, and then the last 15 minutes after we're done is just me getting back on the bike and getting some of that lactic acid out of the muscle, doing a little bit of 10 minutes of cardio, and we're done. That's it. Clap your hands and out the door you go. So on to the next one.
Josh, what are the signs of low testosterone?
So the number one thing we'll see is men are tired. That tends to be the most profound symptom we see, is just guys are like, I'm tired all the time. And maybe they make some changes, right? Maybe they're going to the gym, and then they're kind of brings up a couple other ones too. They'll work out 2-3 days a week, and they just feel like, I'm not getting anywhere. And it's been a month, and I'm the same weight. I don't have much energy that's changed. What gives? So there's obviously one sign. Focus. Guys will lose a lot of focus. They'll feel kind of aloof, and oftentimes they may get diagnosed with some type of adult onset ADD for the most part. And in reality, it might just be you have low testosterone.
And they may think it's depression too.
Yeah, we get a lot of guys that come in that with depressive symptoms, and it ends up just being that. And that's a deeper discussion. It's more than just testosterone. That also have to talk about estrogen, but yeah, that definitely is a real thing. And then obviously, the later symptoms we see, and this is generally when guys take action, is when they start to have the erectile issues, or the libido issues. That's when everybody's like, okay.
Gotta do something about this.
Yeah. Code red, gotta handle it now. So, but the key here is if you just have any of those kinds of symptoms, and we have them all listed on our website. If you go there, click on the low testosterone tab, it'll give you everything that you need to know. That page is very informative. We also talk about prostate cancer and cardiovascular risk on the bottom of that page, which is, we could do one of these on that.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Spend hours talking about this
stuff.
Well,
we're going to have you back again. We got a lot to cover the next time. We've covered a lot now. Website is?
www.virtusmenshealth.com, and we look forward to having you there. It's a very informative website. I designed it not by myself, but all the information is me putting it on there. So I did it in a way that people could be most informed in the least amount of time that they have, because again, everybody's busy. But it's a good starting point.
Joshua, thank you so much for joining us today on Let's Talk Tri-State.
Hey, thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
If you'd like to be featured on an upcoming episode of Let's Talk Tri-State, call 717-597-9200 or email letstalk@921thegoat.com.